Hello, beautiful people. I'm here to give you some valuable tips on how to start your own fashion brand. Every week or every other week, depending on how fast I can get these videos out, I would like to tackle a topic that will break down and help you reach your goal. I know how terribly confusing and overwhelming this undertaking can be, and I wish someone had given me this information when I had started. So why don't you grab a pen and a pad and make yourselves comfortable. Let's get started with this week's topic. I'd like to go over business plans. But before we get there, on the last video, I left off with asking you to consider the why. It will be a battle, especially if you don't come from money and you're doing it all on your own. Why do you want to start a company? Between manufacturers messing up your order or a shipping company returning your goods because a document was filled incorrectly, or unreliable sources that promise and don't deliver. There are so many scenarios that could be brutal, so you need a lifeline to sustain your struggles. You need to dig deep and figure out why it is that you want to start a clothing brand. And you really have to embrace it. So when it gets difficult, you can go back there and remind yourself why it is you're doing all of this. Wow, I myself have wanted to give up so many times, but really, truly, it was the why that kept me actually going. Oh, and by the way, maybe even consider getting a mentor. That actually is quite useful. It could benefit you. In fact, I could possibly do a video about this if you find it interesting. Let me know in the comment box below. You know, I could bring in some cool people that can share their experiences, and mentors that have done this for a while, you know, this, and so that you can have an introduction with them and maybe take it from there. But right, so do subscribe, like, share with friends and people that you think could benefit from this video and others that are coming up. I would totally appreciate it. Subscribe. Now that you have figured out your why and you're committed to it, we move on to the next step, which would be your name and logo, actually. However, you know, I'm going to cover this in another video because this one's just a little trickier. So right now, I would like to cover business plans. Business plans are like your Bible. Remember that, your manifesto to your business. Even if you don't plan to seek investment and it's going to be at a super small scale. Sorry about that. Like I'm like, it is crucial to have a sense of what your business will entail. This allows you to organize yourself and to understand your budget, processes, expectations, time and action, and it includes what you stand for and what your product is about, and so on. So keeping your business plan handy even after your launch will set you up for accountability and success. And by the way, like Google has a lot of material and you can download templates, or there are sites that just provide you with some information and also give you a particular format and a lot of examples. So do go check out Google but I have attached down below some links that can help you get started with this, all right, and templates and so forth. Okay, good. So here is the way I would lay it out to keep it clear, resourceful, and professional. Break it down page by page, and remember, take a bite at a time and don't make it long and exhausting. Make it in a way that will have simple information. You can even include diagrams and images if that helps you. Let's start with this very basic format. There are 8 parts to this, so just bear with me. It might take a little time, but it's okay. So number 1, of course, your preface, your introductory material. So for example, your soundbite, which I will talk about later, all right, your logo, you know, and what is page 1, what's on page 2, page 3, etc. Super simple. Number 2, your executive summary. Now we're getting serious. Try to have little paragraphs of it, don't overwrite it or anything, but for each of the following of the plan can include, you know, you should include a background, history of the company, the year you started, why. This is what we call a mission statement. Why are you starting the company and how are you contributing to the industry or even the world? Then you also have your vision. What does success look like to you? Then there's values. What is your company's guiding principle? What determines your business decisions? This is really, really important. For me, it is all about sustainability, number one. And also to be community embracing. I want to be sure that I'm, using family businesses, using artisans that are nearby me. Also supporting local art forms, empowering women, and definitely transparency. This is very important to me and to my brand. Let's move on to number 3. So we've got product service description. What are you selling and how they will make money? Like things such as features and benefits. What are you offering that makes your business unique, and your development? What happens when your company grows? You can even add a few images to represent this. Again, throw as many images as you want and very little words if that's the way you want to go. It's okay. Now we've got number 4. Organizational plan. How you see the core people working your shop, structure, qualifications, your role. You don't need to have people already. You don't have to have them all hired or anything, but this is a projection. This is something that you need to include as you see your company growing, which direction. So you might even have freelancers or also investors that you plan to include in the future or at that moment. And you have to include the investors' roles. How, what, where. Also, it includes, advisors, lawyers, accountant, IT, etc. Like your advisory team, so that you can see what will happen, projects, 2, 3, 5 years from now. Okay, and on top of that, you don't want to leave any room to have any kind of liability. It's so important between a contract and what's on your business plan. They need to match, and it has to be all clearly stated. Okay, number 5, marketing strategy. This will include all your market analysis and research. I love this part, one of my favorite, and it's all about mood boards and things once you actually get started with it, which is on another video. I will talk about mood boards, and mood boards are great. You could use them for anything. Well, this is to understand the imprint of your brand's personality. So especially what industry, this is so important, what industry and market you would be in. So this particular industry's market overview. First of all, customer profile. Number 1, super important. Who are they? What are their values? So basically, geographically, demographic, psychographics. This is all about going deeper into your customer's mind, where they get their coffee from, what activities they like, what is their lifestyle, etc. This really gives you a sort of a very sharp focus on how to cater to their needs, right? And also how you would set up a campaign, for example, because you know exactly what to target. Then the other one would be competitive landscape. You need to understand where you fit in the market, not only where you'd like to be, but also who are your competitors. For example, maybe you are an inexpensive fast fashion brand, or an upscale lingerie brand, or an accessories brand that caters to kids. Who knows? This is important also for price point and to find brands that sort of fit your niche, as I was saying. From here, you can focus on what extra are you bringing to the table that makes you better than their products. Here is where I would include your SWOT. Now, SWOT analysis stands for strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So this is a strategy planning technique used to help a person to identify, again, let me repeat them, strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats related to business, competition, or project planning. Good. SWOT. And from here, you can build on your marketing strategy. Now we're finally on to number 6, financial and sales plans and goals. What are your sales goals per quarter? For the year, the next 2 to 5 years, what is your pricing strategy? How will you sell? Do you have an online store? Do you have plans to hire support staff for sales in a showroom or go to trade shows? There's plenty of trade shows around the world, although at the moment, I guess with Corona, not as many, but there are plenty platforms online. And what about if you wanted to open a boutique? Will there be promotional campaigns to support sales like partnerships, like advertising, fashion shows and events, social media ads, pop-ups and things like that? You've got to remember this and include them all, because then you realize that this all reflects on your budget as well. In this section, you can also include your expected growth plan. This is a projection as to how you think it will grow and by how much. This is based on your projected sales, as well as how you will reinvest your money. Remember this, what you're making doesn't necessarily go all in your pocket, or it's not your salary. This all needs to be reinvested and all of that calculated and figured into your business plan and budget, all right? Okay, here we go. Number 7, operational production plan. Here you will include your suppliers, process, product, and then you've got your supply chain, maybe just a flow chart with diagrams to show start of product to final shipping by season or the delivery times you plan to implement it in. Charts are great over here. You could put things such as your desired time and action calendar. You could include key dates such as development dates. Development dates are the times you are developing your product for the next season. You're going to want to plan 3 months ahead of time because before your sale date, all right? Now, sale dates are things like trade shows and other sales opportunities for that season. And then you've also got your production dates. And these dates are when you start producing the goods and when they need to be finished by. And then you also have delivery dates. These are when the goods need to be delivered to your customer. Remember, it takes over a month to ship goods from a factory if you're shipping by sea. So factor that in and remember to work 3 months ahead, or if by ship 4 months ahead, and work backwards on your timing. Fabulous. Now we are on number 8. This is super simple. It's your appendix where you can just include your resume or CV, whichever way you say it. You could even have a complete lookbook attached to this. So remember, your business plan is a living document, which means it can always change, adapt, develop, morph. As your business grows, as your business moves, so does your business plan. Remember to update it as often as you can when you need to, so that you're always up to date on your vision, mission, values. Good. So now I'm going to tell you 7 things as to why it's so important to have a business plan if you haven't already realized it. It's a lot to digest at the moment, but let me get through them. Bear with me and stick on. All right. So we've got number 1. It provides a structural way of organizing your thoughts and clarifying your ideas, because we could have so many ideas everywhere and not really know where to start, how to do it, what's going to happen. So this is good to structure it. Okay, so number 2, it helps you set out your goals and spot any potential problems in achieving these goals so you can address them right away, right? So number 3, it gives you a clear strategy to follow when things get busy. Absolutely, and they will get busy. So this is a great place to go back and go like, okay, what is it that I was supposed to do next step, right? Number 4, this is often essential for securing external finances for your business, and is required if you're applying for a startup loan. So remember this, if you already have it and in the future you decide to take a loan, you've already done all the work for this. Number 5, it allows you to measure your progress as you go along. Number 6, it ensures all your team is working towards the same vision. I cannot express it enough how important that is, that everyone understands the vision, the mission, the values, and the responsibilities. How do they fit into the whole puzzle of your brand? And number 7, it helps you plan for the future. So first things first, come up with your elevator pitch. As I mentioned earlier on, your elevator pitch. What does that mean? It means you have an opportunity to speak to someone interested in your product and they ask you, oh, so what is your business about? And there you have, boom, a sound bite of 7 seconds. And that's what the elevator pitch is called. You want to make sure the essentials are included. So things like, convey your brand clearly, and then you can also reveal your angle or strategy or differentiation, sort of like the why. And it's nice, quick, easy, and gets them hooked. We're almost done. There's just a couple of more points to go. So something else you need to consider is to be fully legal. Now, whether you decide to be an LLC or an incorporation, you still need to get yourself a tax ID number. Let me tell you, it just takes a few seconds online. If you are in the US, take a look at this website. This is where you go to get it done. And also consider to trademark your logo and name. Now, is it necessary? No. But could it be useful? Absolutely. And just remember that pretty much every country has their own protocol. So just Google it online or ask someone that might know about this and just see where it would make the most sense, okay? And as I mentioned before, you've got to remember in your budget section, do include your salary into your working capital, right? Which would be apart or aside from your revenue, as you mostly reuse your profits back into the business, okay? So keep that in mind. Now, I know this was super serious and long, but I do feel as if there's a lot of information that could be incredibly useful to you. I wish, like I said before, I wish I'd known half of this stuff to help me get going with my own business. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I will definitely have plenty of other anecdotes and stories in my other videos. For today, it was just strictly business. And just remember, if you have any questions or you have any suggestions, let me know down in the comments below. And do subscribe, like, and share with anyone you think that could find this information valuable. Thank you once again. Have a great day and see you soon. Bye.